Guys, things are actually happening with this channel. Today, I was asked by a film studio if I wanted to do a screening of their movie. They sent me a screener. I got my very first screener of a movie. How awesome is that? I am so pumped. I have been waiting for this for so long. Since I started this channel, it's just like one of the best moments of my life, right? God, I hope the movie's good. Woodstock or bust, man. Coming from the studio of TriCoast Entertainment, and it's going to be released on many digital platforms on August 13th, this coming Tuesday, and it's directed by Leslie Bloom. And this film stars Meg DeLacy from The Fosters and Willow Shields from The Hunger Games. Primrose Everdeen! Woodstock or Bust has us traveling back to the year 1969, the summer of love. The two teenage girls go on a road trip to the Woodstock Festival, embarking on an adventure full of self-discovery, life-changing love, music, and friendship. Before we get started, let me just say I apologize the Owl Reviewer for not reviewing your movie, The Secret in Their Eyes, today. That'll be coming out next week. I promise you are coming up next, but this screener came out of nowhere, and I was so excited to get it that I just had to do it before the 13th, before this movie was released out on digital streaming. And my day job has me working in finance, and when I saw the email from TriCoast Entertainment, I was thinking, this is definitely like a phishing attempt. There is no way I'm clicking on these links. But then I started looking at their websites. I see that the PR people that contacted me actually work for this company. It is a legit film studio in California. So I was like, yeah, sure. What do I need to do? They just sent me the link and the passcode to it. I was so freaking thrilled. So before I get into the review of the movie, let me just say thank you so much, TriCoast Entertainment, for the opportunity to allow me to see a movie before it's released to the world. I've never had that opportunity before. I wanted it when I started this movie channel. I was thinking, when is this going to happen? When is that going to happen for me, where I'm going to be starting getting emails or opportunities to go to special screenings? When is that happening? And it finally did. So TriCoast Entertainment, you made a small little dream of this very, very nerdy kid come true. So thank you very much. That being said, let's talk about Woodstock or Bust. So the description of this movie in the screener that I got said that this was an indie film. This was an independent film that won several different awards. Plus, I knew Willow Shields from The Hunger Games and also on Dancing with the Stars. She was voted off way too early, in my opinion. So knowing her, plus my excitement of this is my first screener, I was super pumped for watching this movie. But I have to be honest to myself and to my subscribers out there. That's why all of you are subscribing. That's why all of you are watching me, to get my true response to any movie. And I can't lie because this is a big opportunity for me, but I really did not like this movie at all. But let me start off with what I did like, and what I liked was the chemistry between our two lead actresses. Meg DeLacy and Willow Shields. I like their chemistry with each other. They play two 17-year-old girls that have their own little guitar band, and they feel that they can go out and make themselves big and make themselves famous because they think that they have talent. Like any stereotypical teenage person, you think you can rule the world. But of course, in stereotypical fashion, they have mothers that just don't want them to pursue the arts at all. It's so hard to make it in the arts today. It's a cute little hobby, though. Don't you just hate it when you talk to family members or friends that see that you're studying theater, or that you're studying the arts, or you're studying music, and they say, oh, but isn't that a hobby? When are you going to get a real job? That has been my entire life. That has been my wife's entire life. That has been almost every artist's entire life growing up. So I completely relate to these characters in that aspect. They want to rebel. They want to branch out, which is what Woodstock, what the 60s was all about. Fighting against the man, fighting against the war. We just want peace. We want love. We don't need to take all of your stupid bullshit from those people out in the White House. My, how things have not changed. So I think their portrayal of these two characters in their situation, in their age range, wanting to go off, go to Woodstock and rebel, attempt to play at Woodstock because, you know, they're just two girls that have two guitars. They'll be able to get out on stage, right? And play with Jimi Hendrix and all of them. Oh man, now that I'm thinking about it, that is just wow, what a dream. But really, that is the only aspect of this film that I liked. And where this film suffers the most for me is in the plot. I don't know what the point of this movie is. And I don't think this film knows what this film is, or at least what it's trying to say, because it is trying to say so many different things. First off, let's talk about 1969. So Leslie Bloom, she directed this movie. She also wrote the thing. Now, I get that we need to set the stage, that we need to bring people in, we need to get people into the culture and the environment that was happening around that time. Because it's 2019. Many of you out there who are watching me weren't even around back in 1969. So they would throw in little references like, this place better be as clean as Mr. Clean came over here. Or throw in references of, oh, hey, you remember JFK? Oh, hey, Dr. King made another speech again. The title of your movie is called Woodstock or Bust. We get the idea that this is 1960s. If you know what Woodstock is, you know that this probably takes place in 1969. For those of you who don't know, Woodstock was a 3-day concert where all these bands, all these artists came to play and everyone smoked weed and had a lot of Woodstock babies. Because we're promoting peace and the common people, you know? Peace, man. Right on. But if I had to sit through one more 60s reference, I was going to chuck something at the TV screen. Every single scene, there is 10 references. I get it. It's 1969. Please move on. And just the dialogue in general seemed very staged. It didn't seem very natural at all. It felt like I was watching a community theater piece. There are points in scenes where someone would finish a line of dialogue and there would be just a couple, maybe a split second of just dead air before the other person picked up on the cue and delivered their line. And I felt like, director, what are you doing? Let's pick up the pace here. Follow each other's cues. Let's go. This movie is barely an hour and a half. And it felt like 3 hours because of that. So the dialogue is very choppy, and it's very staged. Plus, this movie is trying to take a lot of stances on controversial political topics. Like, a lot. There are comments in here of, oh, how I want Martin Luther King to be president. He should be running this country. A black person as president? That'll never happen. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, say no more. Or we go to a park and they're buying drugs, they're buying acid, they're buying pot, and there's this preacher man quoting the book of Revelations to everyone. Willow Shields is there going, oh, are you hypnotized by that book? And from out of left field, there is a attempted rape scene in this movie. That was uncomfortable. That they never touch on again afterwards. If that happened to me, I would not be in a good place after that. But the next day, they meet this random boy and they're all goo goo gaga for him. Now, I know that everyone deals with stress, anxiety, PTSD in a different way. But to see them go from such a traumatic event to the next day going, oh, this one's okay, that was jarring to me. It didn't feel natural at all. And then we have a random Native American that they pick up. He's a hitchhiker, and from out of nowhere, they stop for a quick little break on their road trip, and he comes out with a gun and says, I'm gonna shoot my big toe off, after he recites this overly dramatic and over-rehearsed monologue. Just shoots off his big toe. That's what happens. But the next scene is them driving him to an emergency room, and he's just in the back, yeah, I'm okay, thanks ladies, thanks for the ride. What? And the more that I'm talking about this, the more that I'm working through this, I'm realizing that the main problem with this movie is the directing and with the writing. I wouldn't be surprised if this was a first draft of a script and no one edited it. Yeah, so you know last night after we took that acid, I think he may have popped my cherry. Who the fuck talks like that? And Willow Shields, her character, she's a little shady. She does a lot of the drugs. She does some shoplifting. She goes and steals beer and drinks and drives. I don't think that Leslie Bloom knows how the law works. At one point in this movie, our two lead characters get pulled over. They have pot, they have beer in the car, and they go to a detention facility, and they're just let go. Just like that. And they had a 15-year-old kid in the back seat with them at the time. And they let him go with them to take him back to his parents. Just like that. Guys, this movie, it needed a lot of work. It needed some revision, it needed a couple different writers on this, I think, just to flush out the ideas. Because this story and these characters lend themselves for the story to go in a certain direction, and the movie never really goes in that direction. It just kind of stays very surface and very simple and very boring and very stoic. Oh, she has a problem with drinking and drugs. Okay, that's probably going to come back. No? Okay, all these two kids have problems with their parents. Well, they'll probably, reconcile at the end or something. No? Oh. Okay. Guys, in the end, Woodstock or bust it's just that. This is a bust. And I'm so disappointed because this is my very first screener. Again, I am so grateful to TriCoast Entertainment for allowing me to see the movie before it is released next week, next Tuesday. But I have to be true to my own thoughts, my own beliefs, and my own viewpoints on art and on film. That's why all of you are subscribed to me. That's why all of you are watching me. That's why I'm putting this out here, so that my voice, myself, is encapsulated in this video for forever. And I never want this channel to come across as fake, ever, ever, ever. So with that being said, I'm going to give Woodstock or Bust 1.5 out of 5 Blu-rays.
No, sir, I didn't like it.
Again, thank you very much, TriCoast Entertainment, for the early screening. I definitely appreciate it. Hopefully you'll look me up in the future if you want me to review any more of your movies. Oh, they probably won't. But this was a nice one-time experience. So everyone, if you're watching this review after August 13th, did you watch Woodstock or Bust? What did you think about it? Please, comment below, let me know. And if you like what you saw here, if you like my take on movies, then hit that subscribe button. It helps me out. We are getting so close to my goal of 627 subscribers by the end of 2019. So tell your friends, tell your family, if they like people talking about movies, have them get over my way and hit that subscribe button. It helps us out. So everyone, I will see you next time with my review of The Secret in Their Eyes, recommended to me by the Owl Reviewer. So in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.